just let me say, as we come to the conclusion of our time together, I've just deeply appreciated these days of interaction and listening, and to the very thoughtful conversations, the transparent conversations, that has been taking place. And I leave New Zealand with a great sense of hope for you as a church and as a nation, because I think you really are wrestling with some of the key and the right issues. And I've also, when you come to an event like this, and I travel, as you know, a lot of times, and I was saying, Lord, can I have some of those kind of transformative conversations? And I want to tell you, I've had a couple of those here, very significant, which I think are going to be significant for the kingdom. In fact, they were worth just getting on the plane just to have those two conversations. And so I'm very grateful for that. And before I just share a few thoughts in my final reflections, is that thank you for many of you who've expressed concern for my wife, Jewel. As I mentioned the other night, she is recovering from cancer. She's on her way back. She's through her treatments, and her energy's coming back. She's beginning to do some travel with me, and we're so grateful for the support that we've enjoyed. And we know that many of you have been touched by cancer in many ways. Many have asked how can they pray for us and the World Evangelical Alliance, and just highlight a couple of things that in the last 36 hours we've been negotiating for North Korea around the food situation there with the U.S. government, who have a ban on food aid going into North Korea. We're asking the U.S. government to lift that, because if they don't, we believe that thousands will die in North Korea. So we've been working on that. This morning I was working on the Afghanistan situation with the threat of the execution of an individual who's been accused of blasphemy. We've been working with the State Department on that. Lots of complicated issues that we work on. As I leave here early next week, I will go home for a couple of days and then to New York, where I'll be in a press conference later in the week in New York City on the International Arms Treaty. The first International Arms Treaty is being negotiated, where we just sent out 1 million emails this week on it to evangelical Christians to get support for that arms treaty. We think it's critical. It's the voices of the church from around the world speaking into that. After that, I'm either flying to Geneva or Rome, I'm not quite sure yet, to sign a document that we've been working on for 4 years with the Vatican and the World Council of Churches on proselytism and conversion. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by the language in it. And it's going to be, we believe, a powerful document that's going to help in so many different ways. So those are some of the things that we're working on, and would really value your prayers. A few other things I can mention. But as we come to this moment at the end here, I think it's, how will this Congress be remembered? How will it be remembered? And I think for all of us, for me, well, the context of what's happened here in your country, we can't escape it. Christchurch, what's happened. Our memories will go to this moment. What will it mean for us? I think I told you it was in 1976 in Guatemala, in an earthquake there, that became a transformative moment for me, personally, about my own sense of direction. And so what legacy will we leave as church leaders coming for our lives out of this? And let me just show you a short video that challenges me, as I've watched it recently a couple of times, and as we think about the impact that we'll make individually and corporately as Christian leaders.
When we are born, we are given a number. When we leave this world, we are given a number. This life we live goes by faster than we can imagine. Soon, in what will feel like the blink of an eye, it's gone. But what really matters is what happens in between those numbers. Your dash. Life is not how much you own, what kind of clothes you wear, the job you have, the house you live in. What matters is what we live and love. Were you a good father? A good mother? A good son or daughter? There is time to change and rearrange. By making a conscious choice to live our lives with passion and purpose, we can leave our mark on the world, leaving it a better place than we found it. The dash is heavy. It is small in appearance, but vast in importance. The stone itself cannot tell your life story. In the dash is your legacy, mirrored in those who knew you. So much in a little line. It's not even a word. It's life, represented in a symbol. What will you do with your dash?
That's a haunting question, isn't it? But I think a very profound one. What are we going to do with our dash? You as leaders of the church in New Zealand, how will you be remembered? What will be your legacy? What will be the legacy of this event, this Congress? Will it be just another meeting of getting together? I don't believe so. I believe that you're wrestling with many of the key issues of the day. And I want to leave you with an image in your mind. Some of you may have seen this picture before. This was taken in Honduras after a huge rainstorm, a hurricane. About 200 inches of rain came down in 3 days. And as the waters receded, something happened. In the foreground, you see a picture of a bridge. It was built by proud Japanese engineers. But when the waters receded, the river used to run under that bridge. But when the waters receded, the river had changed its course. The bridge, which was still standing, serves no purpose in some ways. The roads are gone. Can I suggest to you here in New Zealand that the river has changed? The river is in a different place. And some of the bridges of the past no longer are going to cross the river. And can I suggest that you are going to need to build new bridges? New bridges into the future. And I think the questions, the things that you've been wrestling with, are going to allow you to build those bridges. Bridges that have not yet been constructed. But if you're going to impact your nation for Christ, and out of this nation impact the world, new bridges must be built. New structures, new ways of doing things together. And ultimately, I believe that those bridges must be built in collaboration and in partnership. That's why I've given my life to the World Evangelical Alliance at this moment in my life. And that's why Glenn has given his commitment to this network. Because we believe that it is so essential that we come together for kingdom purposes. To live out the prayer of Jesus in John 17. And it's tough work. The work that Glenn does is not an easy job. The work of the network is not easy. Corralling this kind of community and its always diversity is an incredible task. And so I hope that you will pray and stand with Glenn and the team that he has. It's critical for the future, I believe. Because if you're going to build new bridges and build them together, it's going to take, I believe, the Christian network to help facilitate that. Now, Glenn didn't pay me to say that or anything like that, but I just want to let you know, I believe it is so crucial that we reflect the unity in the body of Christ in all of its diversity. And as you take this journey together, build the new bridges, engage the culture in new ways, I believe that the story that you're going to tell as a church in this nation, yes, a rich 200-year history, that God is going to surprise us. He's going to surprise you about what may be accomplished for His sake and for His glory and for the sake of His kingdom. So God bless you as you serve together into the future. Because really the gospel is the hope of the nations. It's the hope of this nation. And we want to let you know we'll continue to stand with you and pray for you and, invite me back sometime, and particularly in the winter in the Northern Hemisphere. No, I'm happy to come. It's a long way to come, but I've just been so thrilled to be with you and so thankful again for the interaction you've had together. It's been so refreshing to me. So the Lord bless you as you continue to move into the future together. God bless.